Willem, let's be honest. What's the first thing that pops into your mind when you think of plumber or plumbing? And please don't romanticize it. Let's just be blatantly honest.
No sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating.
Really, I can tell you what my thoughts were when I used to think about plumbers or the plumbing industry or plumbing work for that matter. And that was the first thing that came into mind was a person in overalls, specifically a dirty overalls.
Missing tools, unblocking drains.
Yeah, smelly drains, working with smelly drains and smelly pipes and those kind of things. You know, and that perception is actually quite, it's an incorrect or a misperception. And the fact is that we're going to elaborate on that misperception and give people a little bit of insight on what plumbing actually entails.
100%.
Within this episode.
Which brings us to the topic of discussion of the day, the perception on plumbing. And to our viewers back at home, once again, welcome to another exciting and brand new episode of Plumbing 101. Nadina Langande Rendani Chiwura, aka Rendani, your number one MC, and I never roll alone.
My name is Willem Klopper. I'm your co-host of this awesome show aimed at empowering you.
Yeah, and we did say there's a lot of value around today's episode, perception. We've got a guest as well, but beyond that, I think it's quite important that we update our viewers with the latest information around our industry. So let's go straight into the news.
What's happening within the plumbing industry of South Africa?
Hashtag Plumbing 101. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yes, man!
Hello and welcome to Plumbing 101 News with me, your host, Tobile. Residents in Tongaat, north of Durban, have taken to the streets in protest of a water shortage that has persisted for more than 20 days. Many suburbs and townships were left without running water as a result of the recent floods, which severely destroyed infrastructure. While some areas in Tongaat have had their water supply restored, many others remain without, relying on the generosity of private companies and humanitarian organizations to supply water. In other news, the UJ has donated 120,000 Rand to the Gift of the Givers to aid with the relief efforts in KZN. Mike Teke, the university's council chair, has contributed 100,000 Rand to the rebuilding efforts in KZN, while Vice Chancellor and Principal Professor Chelezi Marwala has pledged 20,000 Rand. In a statement, the institution said, "This will be given to the Gift of the Givers, a trusted humanitarian NGO that has been at the forefront of the relief efforts throughout this difficult time." Nevertheless, as an alternate water supply, Gift of the Givers has begun drilling boreholes across several locations in the North Coast town. In addition to supplying water while repairs of destroyed water infrastructure take some time, these boreholes are also intended to enhance long-term water supply in these communities. The organization stated, "In addition to the Gift of the Givers, the plumbing industry has come together in support of the flood victims. Organizations such as IOPSA and PIRB have generously donated towards the Plumbers Support Fund, which has been reopened after a plumber tragically lost his home and children to the devastating floods. To date, a grand total of 130,000 Rand has been donated. Since the plumbers are in need of immediate support, all donations have been closed." Meanwhile, in a recent Blue Drop Progress report, it was determined that 23% of South Africa's drinking water is unsafe for human consumption. Municipalities in KZN and Limpopo were ranked among the country's worst. According to Ferial Adam, Water Cans Water and Environment Manager, the low quality water in some municipalities is caused by a variety of factors. Lack of technical skills throughout the country. the lack of ability to test water. Corruption and mismanagement at municipal level are some of the reasons behind municipalities that had low quality water, Adam stated. The SANS 10254, previously opened to public comments, has closed as of 19 April. The present Act, regulation, and standard indicated above are valid and in existence with no revisions at the time of drafting this notification. Furthermore, the representative bodies make every effort to ensure that such changes are informed to its members and/or registered plumbers as soon as possible. As a result, any company involved in the geyser replacement market must adhere to the current legal restrictions, and any comments or activities relating to the process must remain outside of the legal framework until it is legally modified and gazetted. In recent COVID-19 news, masks are still mandatory in publicly accessible buildings and on public transportation. On the 4th of May, just hours before a 30-day set of transitional rules automatically lapsed, Health Minister Joe Phaahla issued revisions to the health regulations. That's it from me. Stay tuned for more entertainment news coming up later on the show.
Now, during the opening of our show in today's episode, as well as the introduction of our topic of discussion for today, we did mention that we're going to have a guest in studio. Now we're joined by Mr. Russel Mathonsi. He's the owner of Mathonsi in Plumbing Construction, and he's a professional, properly qualified plumber, and he's been in the industry for quite a few years. Now their company specializes in not only maintenance plumbing, as the general consumer out there think of plumbing, but also in construction plumbing. Now that entails civil works, that entails bulk water reticulation, that entails bulk sewer reticulation as well. Am I correct,
Yes.
Russell? And that's a little bit different from the normal maintenance plumbing as we all know it, and as we all think about plumbing for that matter.
Yeah.
And we welcome you. We thank you for joining us in the studio today, for your time and your effort, and we know that we're going to have an awesome conversation with you.
Okay, well, thanks for having me today.
I think just to build up, and as Willem said, it's so great to have industry role models. Someone like yourself is doing fantastic in the industry, and you're bringing value to the industry. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, Russell, I think just like many viewers back at home would want to know, why plumbing specifically? You had a diverse option of careers. Why did you specifically choose plumbing?
Thanks very much for giving me this time. I think I chose plumbing. I think from the beginning, when I am at school, think about being a plumber. I always thought of maybe being a lawyer or being a dentist or being a doctor. But it happened one day that while I was still at school, actually I was at the high school at that point in time, and there were some renovations that were done at my father's place. So when I came back, it was around 12 o'clock for the lunch. These guys, they were busy doing some plumbing work at that renovation. So I stopped and then checked what actually these guys are doing. It was all along I didn't understand this plumbing thing. How do they do pipes? How can someone just open a tap on the wall and then there comes hot water? And then I started asking them, what are you doing? What happened? Are you putting hot water inside the wall or what's happening here? So they gave me a brief that no, we're busy putting pipes to supply water on the basins and the toilets and the stuff. Then that thing makes me to get more interested. Actually, I didn't want to go back to school. Just check these guys. Actually, what's happening. But I went back to school, but I was so anxious to come back quickly and come and check what they are doing there. So when I come back and then I didn't even concentrate that day at school. Then I was very anxious to go back and check what actually they are doing. Then eventually when I go back and then I ask them, they still give me those things that no, these things it works like this. We are putting pipes, they have to go to the geyser and then blah blah. So then I started getting so interested. Then and I asked this guy who was a plumber by that time, and then I just want to work with you. Was these things? I'm so interested in it.
There was passion.
Yeah, there was a lot of passion.
Yeah.
So he told me, no, over the weekend you can come and then we'll go and then we'll work together. Then I started working with this guy. Then I developed more and more interest of this plumbing thing, and then I said, no, I think this is the way to go for me.
Come on. What a journey. What a journey.
Career path.
You know what? He even said that he couldn't concentrate at school, because he wanted to go back, because you were so passionate about it. Yeah.
Passion is one thing, but I'm so glad he mentioned the fact that, plumbing is a professional job. He considered things like becoming a doctor or an attorney, and I'm not sure what you mentioned else, but the fact is that we see those careers as professional careers, but we don't think of plumbing as a professional career. And the fact is that surely, plumbing is a professional career because, like I mentioned, he's a qualified plumber, which means that certainly there's some form of training, some form of education that you've got to go through, other than just having, your school leaver certificate. Then there's further education that you need to become. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. What steps did you take? I mean, for someone who's watching this with a clueless mind, because it's a professional industry, what did you go through towards getting your qualification?
Yeah, actually what I did is, after my matric, I went to the college, to the technical.
Yes.
So what I did there, I did business practice. I did business practice whilst I was busy doing my practical with this plumbing guys.
Come on, yeah.
So I did that course and then came back and then concentrate on the plumbing. Then after coming back from the technical, and then I started busy working now full time with these plumbers, and then I gained a lot of experience there. But now the problem came because I was still a small boy.
You're still young.
And then, I was still young, and then the problem came that now I know this job, but I don't have qualification. So, and then these guys, what I realized, remember I did some business courses at the technical. But the way they were doing things, they were not doing it professional. You see. So then my worry came that no, I want to be a professional plumber. I want to change this, become a professional plumber.
Yeah.
Then what I did, and then with that experience, I then said, no, let me go and register the technical and have a plumbing certificate.
Come on. Yeah.
So I did exactly that. I went to a technical school.
Yeah.
I registered for plumbing. I did that plumbing practical courses.
Yeah.
Then for me it was easy. I was actually even teaching those guys.
Because you know the job.
Yeah, I know the job.
Yeah.
I was teaching all those students there. You see, so it didn't take me longer time for me to get that certificate. But when I came back with that certificate, I was so happy. Then, but now this plumbing job, this otherwise, even if you've got that plumbing from the technical, you can't approve your job, and then you can't maybe
certify.
Certify
like a COC in some way. Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So, but I keep on doing the job.
Yeah.
Then what I did is to see more, and now I need to run my own business now.
Come on.
Because these guys I see, they've taught me a lot of things. But now I want to professionalize this.
Yes.
So that I can make living for myself, you see. So I started now registering my company in 1999.
No.
So
when we were still young. Yeah.
So I registered my company and then started everything now was a proper company now. To hire people now, do all the necessary things at the company, but still I can't certify my jobs.
Yeah.
I can do the proper job, but I can't certify it.
The fact is that there are certain, there's a consumer base, a customer base that requires people to sort of form part of. Let's say, for instance, an industry body, so that they become licensed and then they can certify the work that they deliver.
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, because what I normally used to do, it was after doing the job, I need to get someone who've got that certificate.
Yeah, the COC, the certificate of compliance. Yes.
So, and meaning I don't just call him.
Yeah.
I have to pay the guy just to come and stand, and then.
And you're losing at that
I'm
time.
losing.
Yeah.
I'm losing. You find out I'm doing plenty of houses. Then I have to call that guy. I have to pay him per house.
Wow.
So I told myself, no. I need to go ahead and get that trade test certificate.
Yes.
Because I've got all the experience, I've got everything. So I went and registered for the trade test certificate. And then by that time, it took, once you went there, you register, they're going to give you maybe a registration date, maybe for after 12 months.
Yeah. I love what you're saying, Russell, and there's plenty of value in your discussion, because I know a lot of plumbers out there can relate to this. But you know what? To our viewers back at home, I think we're going to take a quick ad break because there's a lot more we need to tap into. There's so much value that's coming out of this discussion. So we'll be right back. Once again, you're still tuned into Plumbing 101. Quick ad break. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yes, man.
Good day, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm here to log in my COCs, but I seem to be having an issue with my computer.
No problem, but did you know that you can log your COCs using an app on your cell phone?
Oh, what app is that?
It's called the App Plumber. Do you have a smartphone with you?
Yes, I do.
Oh well, let me show you how it works.
Not only can you access your PRB profile on the App Plumber, but you can also earn CPD points while exploring the plumbing industry in the palm of your hand. Download the app from Google Play Store and join thousands of other happy users.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into Plumbing 101, where we're having a conversation with Mr. Russel Mathonsi. And just before we went into the ad break, we discussed how Russel got into the plumbing industry and chose plumbing as a career, and how he went from training and becoming a qualified plumber, getting his qualification, his training and his education in the plumbing industry, and then also progressing to becoming a business owner, starting his own business. Now, surely, Russel, when you followed this whole process of getting qualified, trained as a professional plumber, or trained as a qualified plumber for that matter, getting your qualification, and then eventually developing into becoming a business owner, starting your own plumbing business, surely there must be some challenges in that process, and some challenges that you find operating as a plumber in the plumbing industry today.
If I may just even hijack you there, Willem, I'm sure even some of these challenges are around the perception. Consumers still view plumbers in a certain way, but I love Willem for the fact that he asked that question. What are some of those challenges? What do you face on a daily basis? Every industry has its own challenges, but what are you challenged by?
Thanks very much again. In each and every profession, there are challenges. Yeah. So even us in this plumbing industry, we do have challenges whereby someone's gonna call you and say, "No, I need a plumber." And when you go there with overalls, he even doesn't even trust you that you're gonna do the job properly as he. You see, so it's a challenge. So, but what me and even my guys, I told them that no, to beat those challenges, you need to make sure that you do your job perfectly professional, and then at the end, they will come back to you again and say, "No, we thought with this overalls, we don't know what they're doing."
They had that specific perception. That they had that perception of a person who's a plumber is just a person who does dirty work, fix a few pipes, install a geyser, unclog a drain, fix the burst pipe. And that people have that perception. It is true. Customers and the consumers, and even people who consider plumbing as a career, they may think that that's the only thing that plumbers do. And it's difficult to break that perception, especially when you are in the trade and already operating as a plumber.
Yes. No, there are serious challenges. I remember there was a project that I once did. It was a stadium, building a stadium in social movie. Yes. So by the time I got that job, those main contractor, he didn't trust that this small boy can do this huge job of a stadium. You know what they did? Each and every time whilst we were working, they used to send some big plumber guys, white guys, to come and check our job behind ourselves. But at the end, they gave them the result. No, these guys, you've got the right guys. They know what they are doing.
Quality.
They are quality job. You see. So I end up getting all those things after we finished. Then they told me, we didn't thought that we can do this job. Because from the beginning we thought, no, you are just
taking chances.
Yes.
It's so interesting, from hearing this, and I know that we're drawing to a conclusion of the show. You're so diverse. It links us to what we've introduced now as an industry called the Master Plumber designation. Where you have to be an entrepreneur, your leadership, and it seems like there's some leadership there, because you're developing people as well. You're creating employment, and it's the highest level of levels, if I have to put it that way, the highest designation in the plumbing industry. And it's important because we also want to create industry role models. Are you also venturing into the Master Plumber designation?
considering
yes,
it?
of course.
Yeah.
I'm considering to have one very soon.
Come on.
Yes.
Come. He said it on camera, guys. He said it. And we're putting it out there, you know. It's positive pressure, Russell. Yeah. We're both witnesses to this one. Yeah.
But the fact is that that's one of the scopes. You know,
Yes.
again, we're bringing it back to the scope and changing the perception of those who may be considering plumbing as a career option.
Yes.
The fact is that it's not just you're not just like a donkey with these that flaps around your eyes and they have tunnel vision. You know, it's there are scope.
Yeah.
Scope to grow, scope to go to different levels, becoming qualified, licensed.
Yeah.
You know, then there's designations within, if you're registered with a professional body or an industry body for that matter. You know, there are specializations and those kind of things. The master plumber being the top of those designations.
Yeah.
It's plumbers taking that pride.
Come on.
Master, I mean, come on.
Come on.
Saying the word a master
Hey,
plumber.
we've already got one in the making here. You know, Russell, as we're summarizing, words of encouragement to someone out there who's considering getting into the plumbing industry. I think it's the best way to wrap up the show. Yeah.
No, I think everyone wants to go into plumbing. Plumbing, I can promise you, you won't go wrong. This is a very nice profession that actually I can say maybe it was hiding somewhere.
There we go. It's like it's gold. It's underground. You can't see it.
I remember myself when I started. A lot of people they started thinking, no, this guy he went to school, but now he's doing this plumbing stuff. No, this guy is taking chances. But like now, all the guys they are looking after me. I've done everything. I've got a lot of cars. I've got a lot of houses. Like even those big other professions.
Come on.
I'm along those guys, and then so just when I tell you, look at the plumbing. This is a very good profession.
Yeah.
It can be a rewarding profession,
Very
rewarding
rewarding
career, both financially as well as, you know, satisfactory job satisfaction.
But you must have passion.
Absolutely.
You can't just take it as a dead choice again.
Yes.
But Russell, thank you so much for joining us. I think this was such a fantastic engagement. I learned so much. You know, I had a limited perception around the industry, you know, but now it's so broader. And we know you're a busy man. You know, you could be doing some serious, I'm sure you're building another stadium as we speak, you know. But thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. And I know, Willem, I know you want to say something. I know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I also want to thank Russell for having joined us and having shared this information with us. Hearing it, like the phrase goes, hearing it from the horse's mouth, right? And I want to say to our viewers, I hope that they had some value from what Russell shared with us. They do consider plumbing as a career. I hope that the consumers now look at plumbing a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And you know, we are drawing to a close of this episode. All good things must come to an end. And we're going to close off this episode with giving you some more information about all of the happenings and the goings on, again, within the plumbing industry. We will definitely see you next time.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yes, man.
Hello and welcome to Plumbing 101 Announcements. In an ongoing effort to empower and honor plumbers, the PIRB Roadshow is back in business for the year 2022. So far, the PIRB has visited the provinces Gauteng and Limpopo. The place of the rising sun, the majestic Mpumalanga, will be their next stop for 23 and 24 May. IOPSA is set to close off the month of May with 2 upcoming events: the KZN Installers Training as well as the KZN Plumbers Training, which will take place on the 26th of May. In addition, keep your eyes peeled for the Plumbing Awards nominations, which are officially open. And finally, get ready to rumble! Ticket sales for the Champions for Charity events are open. This is a boxing event not to be missed. Become a part of a good fight and let's make a change where it counts. That's it from me, Tobile, and the rest of the Plumbing 101 team. We're signing out.